Uh-oh. And I'm missing a key. Key character over here. Alright, hopefully that's up and running now. Maybe. Hey, there we go. He was gone forever and I was scared. It's probably need to adjust this up just a little bit. Maybe right there. Alright, we'll see how that works. Just for a second. Kind of occurred to me that we hadn't monetized any of these streams I've done in the past few days. We're gonna do that real quick. I always click because there's like when you're monetizing the stuff, it'll be like, oh, do you have like inappropriate language or is there like sexual content, yada yada yada. And I almost always just hit, yeah, I probably swore somewhere in this video. I'm not 100%, but just in case. We don't swear a bunch or often, so the first option is always fine. Holy crap, there's a lot of these streams we didn't. Okay, the Helldiver one I'm not too worried about. He's been out like 2 weeks and like the video of me talking about installing Windows did better than Helldivers. Which I'm surprised doesn't have money on it, because it's on from my phone. Weird. Also, if you guys are chatting right now, I'm not even remotely aware what's going on. Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, Real Godzilla King? Ghostbusters 2016. Is that when the Okay, now I'm just confused results. Hold on, let me Google that. Before I have a thought, let me make sure I'm thinking of the right thing. Oh, it is the female-led one. That one's hot garbage. I don't even remember the bad guy, so that's my incentive. Oh, not cut. We're gutting Orga. That is exactly what we're doing. Anyways, listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the EHS. My name's Steve. I'm going to forego sharing this one around at the moment. I've been going for a minute. Read it wrong. Yeah, he's already been cut. He's been cut severely. Also, still got a pile of toys hanging up behind me from finding the guy. Your neck's not attached. Finding all the joints for this guy. So I think what I'm going to do today is, because pretty much the joints are all set up, I need to make this be able to hold a elastic band, and then I'm going to try to just assemble this thing. Yeah, it's kind of where we're at the point where it's just like the algorithm loved us for like a hot minute, then has forsaken us. So it's kind of like I just make the video, like I get stuff up when I can. I feel like if I tried harder, I probably could. But between like child commissions and just attempting to have a life, like I make more off the commissions on Etsy than I remotely do off the YouTube. So I just stick with those primarily. So first, like I mentioned, I probably should try to put a little screw into here. That being said, we need a screw. I need a screw for something. Trying to think what possibly has a screw hanging on the floor. I think we can use this. Next question. Where's my screwdriver? Will you work? Maybe. Oh, you know, I could probably just get this one up. It's right there. And yes, I am attempting to use a flathead to get a Phillips out. And we were successful. So what is on? Oh, it's latex. Got it. It's like, what is on this? I'm like, I think I was scraping some latex with that. Okay, we need Dremel. Little Dremel. Little Dremel plugged in. Little Dremel is, in fact, plugged in. Also, I move that charger up so I can plug in the Dremel. Anyways, how's everybody's evening going tonight? See, we got 3 people currently. Appreciate you guys for coming to check out the stream. That was initially why we were like, one of the reasons I tried to do a bunch of streams is because it was supposed to. There was a moment in time where it was supposed to actually like help the algorithm, and I feel like they lied to me. Because now it's like you have to like change the thumbnail periodically, and then you also have to like there's just so much hoops to be jumping through. Like I just don't got time. And it's like I got a bit of like I got a kid now. Arnez's kids are all like late school / graduated, so he's like living his best life, getting out and about. And I don't want to stop that, you know. Oh, it's stupid. Like I despise it, and I can't say it's because like people aren't watching because we're not doing certain content. Because I've heard that theory before, and it's like I'll still get people that'll be like, I was like, you don't ever do skip videos. I'm like, you clearly haven't watched any of like the most recent reviews. Like they all the full reviews have skits. Currently, I got a Stevie Toy Room filmed. I haven't. I got it partially edited. I realized I gotta fix some audio in it. So it'll probably be out sometime next week, more than likely. Even like the last TV tour I did didn't do nearly as well as some of the other ones. And you can see like the newer they got, like the more they just kind of tanked in terms of viewership. So like I know it's not that. But it's also like our viewers got like most of our viewers got older. Like not everybody's watching the channel. Like everybody weans in and out of YouTube channels. Like there's some channels that I really liked and I haven't watched them in like a good year because it's just my just kind of like what I'm into right now doesn't really line up with them. And it even goes for like some of the more like the mainstream YouTubers too. The Anger's one I just got edited. So that probably when we get off stream, I'll probably upload it. I don't know if I'll have it uploaded tonight. Probably can, to be honest. So I'm probably gonna actually end the stream a little earlier tonight. Casey's not here tonight, so makes my life a little easier. Like I could just go to bed. But I still kind of want to get off, like probably around 8:30. Because I also want to try to ship out. You'll see there's some beam parts hanging out down here. I want to get them set up so I can ship them out tomorrow. All right. I think that's good. Damn it. Where'd you go? Ugh. Maybe I got that a little too far in. I think what I need to do is have it a bit outwards, make my knot, and then screw it in. More than likely the way to go. But that being said, like I still have a lot of fun making the videos still and whatnot. Let's be honest, it never really was about the money. The only positive like this channel's got for me is like it helped me quit my one job that I was really hating for a little bit. Yeah, I saw that you were talking about that in the Discord. Not to be like, well, I hope yours sucks and mine's better, but I hope mine doesn't have as much of an issue. I don't think for me it would be as big of a deal because it's not like I'm like posting the thing anyways. Like it's just gonna go on the shelf and look pretty for the most part. But it'd be nice if it was functional. All right, so that's in. I'm gonna try to screw this back in just a little bit because I kind of want it to be decently tight. So like that. Super glue. I see it's super glue because I was messing around with Windows today for a little bit, and I know I picked it up. So that being said, doesn't mean it's anywhere in this room vicinity anymore. Let's slide that over. I'm gonna stand up. Hopefully my pants shorts don't fall. It was like right here when I was messing with it. You guys don't see remotely what I'm aiming at. Hold on. Oh, right here. And I came around here. I was thinking about doing something, and then I realized it was a horrible idea. I had the super glue in my hand. So where did I go from here? This is currently like a little bit here, up there. Got some rubber cement. Did I sit down behind the laptop and I just shove things over? That could also be a possibility. I'm gonna aim you guys back at the table for a second. Okay, for serious, where'd it go? I don't think I walked that far. Oh, now look, it's probably sitting on top of something. Oh, this is frustrating. If I don't find it quick, we're gonna have to forego working on Zilla tonight. Because assembling it without glue is gonna be a little bit of a problem. All right, 3 seconds, I'm gonna go check the other place I was thinking might be. All right, well, bummer. I guess we're not gonna work on Zilla right now. Found it. Just been busy, Godzilla. We're also literally just talking about it. Man, I should have looked at the chat so much sooner. Zombiezilla's going good. We're making progress. That's funny. Why didn't you guys speak up? I don't understand. Sort of been how my day's been going. So I wanted to work on getting the windows fully sealed. Like they're sealed, but the outside I gotta like go around the window with some cement. And the stuff that I bought the other day isn't the right kind, so it doesn't really work vertically, which is what I need. So I got the stuff today, but I had to cover a bit of the wood so that I won't rot it. And because of that, I have to wait. Oh, sick. Pizza sounds great. I made orange honey chicken. That's what I made tonight. Honey chicken with some sesames on it. Pretty good. Pretty good. But yeah, it's just been kind of busy getting videos done. And then also because my office is currently destroyed, it's hard to do reviews when all the figures are strewn about and the table's covered in stuff because I still have to put boards down and do these, like I said, the vertical cementing. Once that's all done, then I can move the shelves back, get everything back up, situated, and then be kind of back on schedule. Okay, so that is the new tail tip. So we got the skeleton tail tip. It's attached with a screw. Now we're going to run the rest of the tail through it. So I was talking about, why did I notice this is broke till now? I hate too that they were all on the same side. You know, I think I'm going to do this one afterwards because there's some section I'm going to gore up a little bit. And I'll just do that with that. Like I said, I'd like to get this guy kind of assembled today. Because it's just annoying that it was like all one side of this figure. Okay, so that's like that. That one I think is for you. This one's for you. Yeah, so it's like all rotting on the one side. Millennium Guys is getting a. I did see the poster. Which is sweet. I feel like that's going to end up giving me some commissions with the Haya. I'd like to know why they're doing why they're doing that one. Is there an anniversary I'm not thinking of? Because we're 2005, nothing came out like the last. We're kind of past benchmarks. I guess it was 25 years ago. Millennium came out. Stateside, anyways. Yeah, today is mainly just assembling, getting Zilla put together, and then we'll work on gutting the Orga. And then I also got a. Yep, you're correct. Yeah, like I said, the closest benchmark I could think. Well, I guess Mega Gearus is technically the anniversary. There's a 25th anniversary you could do. Because Mega Gearus in Japan was 2005 or 2025 or 2000. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's not one that like they really like ever. I think ever since 2019, they've been more willing to do like more burning style Godzillas with other suits. That tail is going to be kind of bending upright. I guess is okay. Is that okay? Yeah, that's probably fine. Gives a character. That'd be interesting. Like 2000, I think is one that like could pull off a burning look really well. GMK would probably be a pretty cool burning too. Let's move that Godzilla just slightly out of frame. I do need him, and not that long though. But for right now, uh, what would be 65? Oh, is it 65? The one from Sea Monster, the Cookie Monster face one. He would be a fun burning. I'd pay money for that one. 66. Okay. What's 60? Oh yeah, 65 would have been Monster Zero. Right? No, Ghidorah. Sorry, Ghidorah the three-headed monster. Oh, sorry, I was would say Ghidorah. Ghidorah the three-headed monster. Our favorite Electri boy. It's hard to see if I got glue on this thing. I can get you a little bit more centered. Cool. Okay, so that's inserted. Oh, I don't have a nice pair of scissors out down here at the moment, but these should work. He says as they don't. There we go. Ah, it's not as tight as I want it to be. Don't mind me, just twirling my Zilla. Maybe ask yourself, Steve, why are you twirling a Godzilla? To try to tighten it. Because twirling it adds extra tension to the wire, which you'll see now, he's not so wiggly. So that's all attached. Arms are functioning. Jaw's loose, but we already knew that. Not going to be properly put together, but just kind of want to see it more or less assembled. So we're going to have to do a little bit more work with the legs, but for the most part, there he is. Tail attached. So we're going to be adding some bones to the side of here. And I got to insert a little spacer there so then this will hold its pose a little bit better. This part we got to epoxy putty. So hard to get this attached. All right. But pretty happy with it. so we're gonna leave Zilla up there for tonight. We don't need. Technically, I'm probably gonna need some of that root gauge still. The rest of these parts will be added to the tub down there. These for the bones. Rib pieces I'm going to set aside though, because I might use some of those. And we need the guts. Those can hang out in this little guy right here, so I don't lose them. Garbage. Currently don't need those. All this is junk. Goes back in the box. Back in the box. Actually, I lied. We could probably hang on to this piece. I can see this coming in handy at some point. You give me my little mortgage. I don't have rent anymore. For better or for worse, I pay for my house. I say that because just having to fix things. It's nice when you're renting. There, take a drink real quick. Totally not a sponsor, but you can probably figure out who this is. If it helps, my mortgage is probably cheaper than the rent, whatever rent it is. Okay, so we got some beams here. This is one of the ones I just got done 3D printing the other day. I think I'm just going to clear coat this one and call it a day. Well, I got to do a little bit of sanding right around there. But this is essentially, grab me a Godzilla. It's for specifically the poster version of the Monster Arts. But it's mainly, it's a 54 one. I also make a clear version. Well, it's like a smoke version. Wherever it is. I just have one hanging out here too. I seen it right up here. Here's the translucent version. It's more like a frosted color, which works for like pretty much any of the show ones. But if you want to like get a different color, you gotta. But this one primarily, like I said, is meant to be more fiery looking. But this one, I just gotta do a little bit of sanding. I gotta paint some orbs that are specifically for this guy, and because I have some of these already printed, but they weren't printed to the right size. I made some eye patches to go over his eye. But these ones are slightly too big, so I'm just going to sand them down just a little bit so then they'll slide in. And then the person who bought these also bought a Hedora one that I made, which is to use some sticky tack and attach it above the eye. There you go. And a Geigen one, which sits over top of the little middle eye. And then a bunch of extra supports. And by a bunch, I mean 3. So I remember I got to grab 3 once I get this all situated. But I do got to do a slight bit of sanding. So we will do that. Also, sorry if I cough. I've had this cough for like a week now. It's been getting progressively better, but it's still just hanging out. Also kind of another reason why I haven't really been doing videos, because coughing every 5 minutes just requires more editing than I really want to do. Okay. Insert that in. We got power. Alright, so real quick, I just want to clean this up just slightly. Probably should be smart about this. Where's my respirator? All right, we're going full bean. Oh god, that just scared the crap out of me. It was a piece of fluff, but I thought it was a spider. Oh, good times. I'm not that bad around spiders, but god, that still startled me. Alright, that's pretty much it for that one. Just cleaned up some of the sharper edges on it. Not sure what just fell off the table. Next is sizing these to fit. If there's no mistake, I just gotta take a little bit off the top and bottom. This time I'm gonna go to lower setting because I don't really got a good way of pinching it without being in my finger. And just a little bit of sanding. Give it a test fit. Almost there. Oh, that's pretty good. Not too shabby. Tell some of the reasons why I got into stream a little sooner, so I can actually need to make one of these for myself. But I have them set with the 72s personally. This was more of a set I just made for fun. So you have like the Hedora sack orbs and the eyes, since I made the beams. So that is hunky dory there. So that's all going to go upstairs. All right, I'm going crazy. Now for the fun part, or at least an attempt to have some fun. Whatever. So we got Orga here. And I think I'm going to start with trying to gut this upper body. But first, I want to try to save as many of these joints as I can. Have it going, Godzilla. Which, sadly, this is the only one I can really pop out here. Like a rougher pair of nippers that I use for random stuff like this. Attempt to remove this hot glue piece, like so. Do the same for the other side here. Try to do it without marring up the figure too much. The nice thing with hot glue is when you apply a little bit of pressure, it'll lift up. The fun part's going to be getting these back out, but like I said, my primary concern is save as much of this as I can. Let's go with that one. Like I said, looks like it was air clay was used on the inside here. As you'll see, it's already kind of breaking apart. Hey, Costa. We're gonna call it Costa. I was like, Netty? Neaty? Can't. I have a pile of just clay dust hanging out on my table when I'm done stabbing this thing out. All right, free all these chunks. I don't have too much thoughts on it right now because I haven't gotten it, sadly. I'm waiting for the atomic version, which I know just started hitting places. I know it's on Calcus. I just haven't hopped on that one yet. Which, speaking of, I guess we'll do my plug here. But if you guys like to pick up high Godzilla figures, my go-to is calcustoys.com. Say 6% off your order. Code SteveCalcus at checkout. It's where my recently arrived Beast Glove Con came from. Came really fast. And they currently got a lot, like, who's it? Scar King just went up for pre-order, which I'm super excited about. I've heard some people really like it. Like I said, from pictures, I'm not as sold on the head, but I think like everything else about it, I enjoy. So at the price point, I'd still say it's a win. But from what I've seen, I think I like my Monstarts like a little bit more. But at the price, it's kind of hard to condone. Over the high, anyways. I was hoping this would kind of break apart like everything else did. We're going to dig into it a little bit. Should hopefully break apart. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's all air dry clay, so it's pretty easy to mar up with a little bit of strength. Oh, so I could try to heat it to get that out too. You know, I already know I'm making this way more work than I need to because there was talk we wanted the one joint I was gonna add was I'm not even about the heat gun is giving it like an abdomen crunch. So I'm actually gonna just try to cut that out now. Oh, really don't want to remove this detailing. It look kind of weird, but I think I'm actually gonna come down a little bit. And try to kind of work with the cut here that's already established. Instead of trying to like gorge into this and come across. He says as he's probably still wanting to do that. It's not going to be my favorite cut I've ever done on one of these, but I think it's just kind of a necessity. I am going to try to go underneath this plate, though. Then bring it back around. The only problem is it's like the scary part about cutting these things is like this is right where the pieces connect. Oh, that sucks. It's actually one of my more favorite of the highest, to be honest. I really like the Shimo. Why isn't this coming out? Come on. There we go. Because this has the joint I want to try to save. I don't want to. On a high note, it's pretty much just one big crumbly mess inside of here. Jeez. Trying to see. Okay, so there's more cuts on this thing. Well, that's not good for our hero. It felt kind of soft. Okay. There's some sticky tack in here. All right. That's funny. Almost regretting taking my respirator off. Jeez, oh criminy. It is the dust. Favorite Godzilla? So my go-to answer is the Imperial Godzilla. The 12-inch one is my current favorite Godzilla toy. It's not the best thing ever. It's not the most accurate thing ever, but I just have a lot of nostalgia for it. Okay, we freed that one from its gluey prison. All right, so that one's good too. There's something red here, and I don't know what it is. That's out. I gotta try to get rid of as much of this as possible because my plan is I'm gonna stuff some of this in tinfoil and then use 3D print filament to fill in a lot of these crevices. The only thing that sucks is the sticky tack that was used in here. But if you haven't gotten the Shimo and you can get a hold of one, it's a really sweet figure. I almost kind of want their like statue version because they're making a Scar King that can ride it. I don't know if it's a different figure or if the Scar King's just like set up to ride it. Play-Doh? Oop. There's so much random going on with this thing. That is a good one. That X Plus is pretty phenomenal. I also really like X Plus wise. I still like my gigantic 62, and the 55s. I think are my favorite. Although the Cybot Godzilla is pretty freaking stellar too. I'm burning sticky tack that's randomly in here. I think I got most everything else out here, and the sticky tack being here isn't that big of a deal. Because it's on the inside, it's not going to really affect much of what I'm doing. I am going to have to clean up a little bit of this around the edges, and then the problem is there's also some excess cuts here. If you can see me squishing it in, which is going to be a little annoying. It's just more sculpting, more epoxy puttying, but it's got some fractured here, and then more of that putty, glue, whatever the heck. Pretty sure it's Play-Doh. Problem is the Play-Doh also got underneath some of the glue, which probably doesn't help a lot. So I'm definitely going to have to give this guy a nice scrub down before I start trying to do cuts and see where everything goes. But I gotta remove as much of this clay as possible because I also want to try to keep the weight down. That's one reason I plan on using a 3D printer filament. Just use a 3D print pen to fill in a lot of my gaps. Because it'll give it a lot more, it'll give a lot of structure inside, but keep the weight down. So the only places that should really be increasing in weight is where I'm going to do the epoxy around the joints. But we freed the guts. I would like I said, try to save these joints as much as I can. Because if I got them, I might as well reuse them. Gosh, tack all over this crap too. Okay, so more cleaning. How free are you? Good enough. I guess we'll do the arm. Try to do the arms real quick. Those. We got a little bit of time. Oh, that sucked. Oh, it's because that was glued in. That's why. All right, well, that makes sense. Oh, la, 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 la. All these fingers like that? No, that one just slides out. It's like some are glued in and some are not. I'll just keep tossing joints in there while I get these things popped apart. Okay, so that's actually the whole assembly came out with that one. I think the problem is the person probably it's like did the super glue and then put the joint in. And you really want to do it afterwards. Like after it cools, you want to make your hole. Because then you get problems like this where stuff just gets stuck. And the more of these I break, the more of these I gotta reuse joints, and then I'm gonna have to charge more. Yeah, that joint's pretty much done for. Ooh, save that one. Huh? Funny, I'm taking out that whole joint instead of the finger. Whoop. See if maybe I can kind of loosen it up a little bit. My assumption is this one's probably just adhered to everything, and that's why it doesn't want to slide out. There we go. So that's a dud joint. That's a dud joint. That one we might be able to save. Looks really good. Also haven't gotten it in yet. My Legion's on its way. I haven't seen heard of the 2000 yet when that's arriving. Excited for it. Oh, no, I know this one. Everything's kind of coming out a little easier without breaking, so that's cool. Okay. I was like, this was rotating really easy. Probably not in my best interest for it to be doing that. Sure enough. So these are all going to be the fun ones to try to get everything out. But there's like a little mix of everything in this. It's a little bit of hot glue, there's a little bit of cement, or Sculpty, whatever the hell this is. The problem is there's like so much glue in there. At least free this back piece of the joint. Close. That's gone. Huh. Wonder why that's still sticky. Weird. I'm thinking it'd probably make my life easier. I think I'm just going to cut this right here. So then I can hopefully just pull this out. Not too much problem. And then reattach that piece when we're doing the sculpting. Like digging for treasure. Alright, so that's all freed. I'm just happy that it's like a suit representation. It's like an actual suit representation instead of the Yuji Sakai one, which I like, but it's nice to have like a proper suit one. The only thing I've seen of it that I don't like is the duck looks kind of weird on it. Oh, come on. Just poke through the figure into my finger. That's free. Now, can I just push? No. That is adhered pretty well. Because one thing else I got worried about the hot glue is it warping the vinyl into itself, which I think is kind of the issue I'm having is it's kind of melted the vinyl on the inside. So it's got actually a pretty solid adhesion. So once I get all these kind of torn apart, I'll have to clean them all. Which is gonna be like toothbrush and some Dawn dish soap and see how much of this extra stuff I can scrub off. Because the inside doesn't need to be super pretty, but I don't want any of this like tack or Play-Doh or whatever kind of getting in the way of stuff adhering to what I need it to. Okay, I'm just gonna do the same thing too that I did on the other ones. Hit the finger here to make my life easier trying to get these glue pieces out. Already established that joint is a goner. On a high note, I do like the use of tinfoil on this. The hot glue, not as much. It's a thing you can use. I have used it for certain things. For sure. But if anything, where like all this was used, I would rather have used it around the joint and use the hot glue to be like my filler more than vice versa, having the clay be my filler and the glue be my support system. Especially with the glue being so much more harder to work with. And making joints. The glue is a possibility of using, but you definitely, like, when doing these kind of customs, I highly recommend having a Dremel. Some kind of little electric drill. So then when you're making joints, you can actually drill them out instead of having to, like, sit them in the hot glue and hope for the best, you know? Okay, that's free. Why aren't you free? Why are you sticking so well? It's like some of this clay got, like, super glued in, and I'm so confused. It's just like bits of clay and Play-Doh everywhere. I don't know how anything really adhered. But like this one right here is like just hooked in. Oh, there we go. I think I got it. All right. Fingers are, there's holes. You're right. We could see. Ugh. Oh, nice shadow. Yeah, I wish we had a place that was like a little closer. I can get stuff like that. We got like some cool vintage places around here, but nothing like not a lot for like new. I keep like, why is the glue sticky? It's hot glue. I'm like, oh, it's because there's tag underneath. Explains everything. Fingers good. So my only concern is because there's sticky tack all over some of these, it's just going to be really hard to get some proper adhesion on some of these pieces. Okay, well, do I have a around here? I'm gonna steal Crazy's bag. Stick these fingers in there. Okay, that was the other one. I was like, there's one I just cleaned out. Where was it? How much is the guy later? I got to ask. I'm like, why was there Play-Doh? At least I assume this is Play-Doh. I don't know of any epoxy that's red off the top of my head. Oh, damn it. Dump the bag on the floor. Oh, I should have another nail. Where's the other nail? Meow. Where's the other nail? Yes. Kind of an interesting little project though, because I'm trying to think if I've done another one like this on the channel where I'm actually like fixing somebody else's commit, like custom that they were making slash that somebody made. I've repaired some before, but not like full like adjusting or like changing things to like this extent where I'm like pretty much redoing the whole thing. Which honestly, thinking about it, it probably would be easier just to buy a new one of these and start from scratch. But I kind of like the challenge of actually having to like this one's sacrifice is not going to be in vain, you know? Because I'm already having to like charge a little extra because I kind of figured I was going to be tearing this apart for a minute. Oh, I'm bleeding. Nice. Where am I bleeding from? Can we figure it out? Ah, right there. Right where I jabbed myself in the thumb. Good times. On a fun note, we did talk about having to rewash this, so it's going to have a little DNA on it for a minute. Good times. Try to clean this as best I can. Oh, bless it. Why was that not in the bag? Oh, well, I know. Just found my other metal piece. That was cool. Just wanted to look, make sure, because right now we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I'm missing some names. Came out pretty easy. It's kind of using this as a bit of a drill. It's what I think I'm going to do since we're going this above and beyond. Probably going to try to reuse some parts from I wasn't expecting it to be popping. So I'm going to toss the joints back in. Did I toss it? I did. There's the other finger. Okay. Try to make sure because I should have 2 bases, 4 fingers, and this is the other missing nail. like I said, I don't want to try to make it sound like I'm bashing somebody for their like first custom, but it would just been kind of nice if there was like some at least consistency. But there's like some tack in one of these. There's some red stuff, which I'm assuming is Play-Doh in some other one of these, and there's hot glue in some. No, there was just like some kind of like I know what I was getting into in each finger instead of it being kind of a surprise. Like this one's got tack and Play-Doh, and it's like nothing cured. Which, on a high note, would keep the finger in place, but that's about all that was doing. Oh, that's an actual joint. Okay, cool. Can I pop that out without damaging it? It's just glued in, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Okay, that's freed up. Jaw. Tummy, arms are good. Honestly, I might just try to run through and just get all these around. Oh, sweet. Which Godzilla Kaiju drop, if I can ask? Oh, that came up pretty easy. Now we gotta try to read a joint. Like I said, I'd like to reuse as much of this as I possibly can. Oh, they're Legos. That's what this is. Neat. I was like, I haven't seen these joints before. They're not from like a figures I'm familiar with. I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard some people using Lego pieces. It's like this joint's more like what I was expecting to see. It was like hot glue and aluminum foil. Ugh. Okay, well, that won't pop that easy. Huh? Oh come on, I cannot glue. Get out here. There we go. Okay, so that's free. That's free. Next one. Holy cow. Come on. Fighting for my life here. Hey, crazy. Uh, pile's getting bigger. Ugh, come on. It's like I feel it freeing. Ta-da! At least I came out in a chunk. That was cool. Now it's getting this thing freed. Which I'm almost there. Because I'm not trying to damage it as best I can. Okay, I think I freed that enough. That should pop out now. Cool. Yeah, find out it was actually Lego joints is what they were using. Okay. If I need to send the person the pile of like, this is what I got out of it. Like I don't even know what happened here. There's like different colored dirt. This part's kind of flaky, like it's almost like there's paper in here or something. I am legitly baffled at that one. Oh, I saw that coming. Here's where I'm not confident I can save these joints. These I might just have to. Oh, it's just a bunch of Play-Doh in here. Interesting. Okay, so that's not as bad, I guess. Maybe I'll save this other side. He says I can't push it out. Ooh-wee. I think one of these days I probably should set up some like background music. Some royalty-free background music. So I don't feel as bad when I'm not talking. So there's something hard on the top, and I don't know if that's just the joints or the vinyl, or maybe it's a bit thicker here. But that's freed at least. Does that mean we get looking that'll come out too? Yes. Here's where I'm not as confident this is going to come out the way I want it to. Yeah, boy. There we go. That's good enough to go in the box. On the hair. It really sucks about the whatever this Play-Doh crud is I'm trying to push on it to pop this joint out, but there's so much that it doesn't give me like a good like pressure to. I can't apply like a lot of pressure to it. It just goes like straight through. Alright, that tail's good. This one looks like it's just glued in. Hopefully just going around with the tool. Free that up enough to pop out. Because it looks like it's just a bunch more of that red Play-Doh just shoved in here. Which I kind of get the theory of using this, like stuff it full of this, and it should hopefully brace it. Problem is because it's so squishy, it's hard to really pack it in properly. There's a good possibility that could have worked. But like I said, doing this now, I think that might actually have been a solid idea because it would have loosened all this Play-Doh stuff up. That's if it would have it'd be able to get inside the figure though, because most of the figure probably was pretty airtight. It looks like. This tail's gonna suck. Like this is one that I'm definitely gonna have to just kind of like soak it and scrape this while it's underwater to get all this gunk out of here. It's like I said, I don't want this stuff to mess with like the adhesion, which shouldn't be bad because like these sections I'll probably be using the 3D print pen just to fill it up and pop it in there. Okay, I think all I got left is the feet to get yank out. Like, I think we're all done after this. Which huzzah! This actually was faster than I thought it was going to be. I was kind of worried I was going to be here for a couple hours, and I wasn't thinking of my pay for a couple of hours. Granted, we've been streaming longer than I wanted to. Right, that was simple enough. Where'd the joint go? There. Okay. Set you aside. This one might not go as well. At least I don't think. So it kind of feels that it's got like a little bit of super glue on it. Just jam myself again. So when doing this, make sure you're always stabbing away from yourself as to not cause yourself bodily harm. Highly recommend it. Come on, why are you so stuck in there? Really don't like using this end because I'm worried about damaging the, like right there. Worry about popping it through the vinyl. There's just more stuff I got to repair eventually. Okay, what is this hooked to? For the love of Pete. I get a better grip on part of this, but I just cut the piece out. this one. Watching in there. So honestly, I'm kind of surprised I'm having this much trouble with this thing. Because there's definitely... Oh, there we go. So there's definitely some clay, but I don't think it's what I'm like... Yeah, because it's like, there's just aluminum foil there. But there definitely was like some clay used at one point. Holy cow. Yeah, I was just saying that a little bit ago. It's like, oh, it might have been better just to get like a cheap movie monster series and just have me start from scratch. But like I said, I don't know. I kind of like this idea just because it's like, for the toy's sacrifice wasn't in vain, you know? And I still would have had to spend some time figuring out the cuts. Anyways, and instead of figuring out the cuts, I just spend more time just cutting, cleaning it up. Because where the cuts are at, it's pretty effective for articulation, so I don't have to worry about that as much. Glue's being difficult. Oh, there we go. Joint saved. Oh, good times. Hold up. Gotta mount this up a little better. Take a picture. Send it to the guy. Helps if my screen wasn't down. Good to go. All right. So on a high note, everything's cut. Joints are out. Oh. What's probably going to end up happening is I'm going to reuse, kind of like what I did on the Ultraman. I'm probably going to use a figure with opposable legs. Maybe just reuse this guy, one of these guys again. And just... Okay, granted, his pocket's got to go. But Grant, we can't reuse the arms, sadly. But might be able to reuse the legs, though. At least maybe. Yeah, that works. Dun, 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 dun. Sort of, anyways. I was doing a figure not that long ago, and I think the same idea is going to work pretty good. Where I just keep this like loose and then sculpt this part so that it keeps this flush, and then you can still pose and get the full range of motion out of here. I'm not going to be able to reuse the arms because of the way they're positioned. Well, maybe. I just might have to like put them there. No, I got that. This is the problem. Is I get like an idea, and now I kind of gotta wrong go through demotions. Because the neck and the body, I'm gonna have to just kind of stick with the way they were doing it. Same with the tail. But like because we broke some joints, I gotta improvise. My hope is I might be able to just reuse this shoulder piece. Didn't come out where I wanted it to. Oh, that almost did though. I should just dislocate the entire shoulder. That's cool. But then this would go here, and then once he's hooked in, give him a bit of a tummy crunch then. At least I'll be able to rotate. Although one thing, having done the other guy, I gotta. This belt's gotta go. I left the belt on the one. And after epoxy putty, it kind of made some issues. So your diaper's gotta go, buddy. Then you'll, a bare minimum, next be able to turn. Oh, that's what fell. It's foot. It's like everything always like I got a little tub here. Everything always wants to go down into there, into the floor, every time. I think we're gonna go with that. Here, rambunctious enough might add feet articulation, but I think it's still gonna probably have a little bit of weight to it. So I don't know if I want to go that far. What my thought was initially was to put the limb there, then this could go in the arm, but I think his arms are too long for this for that idea. Yeah. So definitely want something more ball jointy there. Well, that or using something like one of these guys, you just get the single joint. Then that would go. Oh, we take off Kevin Owens' hands. Econ, where'd you go? Nice thing too is you ever go to like a vintage toy store or some toy shops where they'll just have like bulk wrestling figures. They work so good for random joints when you need them. Like this one's legs, caca, butts. Well, sort of caca. You don't get a hip. You won't be able to get a hip joint out of it. But the arms give you a solid single jointed elbow. Get the ball joint for the head. Still gives you a swivel here for the waist to be able to work with. But like I was saying, if I did something like that, then do it like there, and then be able to get the single joint there. Nah, that's gonna be harder than that. But don't mind me. Oh, I thought I was going to manhandle this thing into being open, but this thing's actually kind of tough. Okay, that's like that. Use this just to pry it open a little more. Free it up. Oh, that's hot. Ow. Right on my leg. I was thinking because you could do like that. And you got a little bit of play with it. There's so much trimming off this arm, though. But, like I was saying, that can go in here. That'll get you your single joint. And then this is not going to work as I intended. At least all the way up. If I remove a bunch of the plastic here, I can at least use this joint. So I think that's still the game plan there. Oh, because like I said, the joints that they sent me, a lot of them are missing the covers. So I'm just trying to think of what parts, random freebie parts I got around here we can reuse. Because otherwise I'll have to order some more. If I got to order, then I got to charge. So I don't want to do that. If I don't have to. Yeah, should be fun. Well, at least took care of a couple of the broken joints. So like I said, we could reuse a bunch of the stuff. The tail is another good section. Which I was just thinking thought I saw something that would work. We'll figure that out later. But anyways, I got to get off because I got a couple things to do before I go to bed. So help us to beat those guys by hitting the like button wherever you guys are. Subscribe and become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook. Guys like Keep of the Day with channel donate greatly would appreciate it. If you guys like to pick up some collectibles for yourself, like Haya, like Mr. Beast Glove Con, that's currently shipping now. You can check them out. Save 6% off your order. Code Steve Caucus at checkout. If you guys look like to pick up some Monster Arts figures, I also got a link in the description for Entertainment Earth. Currently got the 2,000 pre-ordered on there. They do free shipping because it's over the $80 or is it $70? I forget. I think it was 70 because I think my one due was like almost enough for free shipping, and it hurt. But there's links for that too down below. We also have a Discord attached to our Patreon. If you guys would like to help support the channel that way, it would be sweet as well. It's the best way to get a hold of me if you guys want to do commissions, or you can also check out the Etsy shop. Another solid place to get a hold of me or my personal Instagram. Anyways, I'll see you guys next one.